let's welcome in Connor Hughes and Willie Colon for Football Night in New York. Willie, I'll start with you. Obviously, you're not getting the results you want with Wilson in there. So what do you think the reaction is in the locker room with this move?
Well, I think a lot of people aren't shocked. I think probably the only person who feels like he's getting slighted is Zach Wilson. I think after Sunday's performance, it's obvious they have to get Mike White out there if they want to have any chance of making the playoffs. I think for Zach Wilson, if you watch him at the end of his presser after a tough loss, he's just defeated. His confidence is shot. He didn't look like he was on par. He didn't seem confident enough to run the offense. He wasn't efficient, and the boos started to rain down. I have somewhat empathy for the young man because he still is young. Now, I know there's plans for him kind of still being the big plans for the New York Jets, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think he's going to have to go to training camp. He's going to have to show a lot, and he's going to have to really earn his position back. But I think the Jets right now are looking for the future, and they may be looking elsewhere.
Yeah, you talk about where they're looking, and Saleh says they're not looking ahead. It's one game at a time, but it seems like White has a chance to make a case for himself long term. So, Connor, what do you think? Is that true?
That's exactly it. He's got a chance, right? I mean, I don't think that Mike White has shown anything to this point to make it so that he is definitively 110%, no doubt, the unquestioned Jets quarterback 2023 and beyond. But Robert Saleh said he wants to see a little bit more, right? He wants more evidence. Well, Mike White, every single chance he gets, he seems to further and further and further solidify his case that he should be in the discussion, right? He's not just a one-game wonder anymore. He played really well in 2 of 3 starts last year, although the one Colts game was shortened via injury, and he's 3 for 3 on impressive starts so far this year. So now he's got 2 more games where he's going to be this team's starting quarterback against the Seahawks, against the Dolphins. If he plays well and leads the Jets to victories in those games, then gets them into the playoffs, I think that's enough for you to say, yes, this guy can be our quarterback 2023 and beyond. But the one thing to remember, he will be an unrestricted free agent. And the minute the Jets commit to him long term, well, that takes that price tag and shoots it just a little bit up.
Yeah, so that leads into my next question perfectly. It's for both of you guys. And Willie, I'll start with you. Wilson is still said to be a big part of this team's future. But what's the likelihood of that with how this season has gone?
Well, I think right now Zach needs just to step up, get away from New York, get away from the media, and kind of reassess who he is as a quarterback and what he wants to be in the NFL. I think the team right now has to think about the team first. The defense is on par. They're ahead of schedule. You talk about significant players like Garrett Wilson and Michael Carter, and obviously you're going to have Barrett and Beckham back. This team will be good next year. Now, who's going to be the quarterback is still up to question. But I think the Jets right now have to be honest with themselves. They have to put the team first and understand that as of right now, Zach's not it. Next year, if he takes the leap, if he gets better or whatever happens in the offseason, you just have to put him in a trial by error situation and let him compete for the job. But I think it's a tough spot for the New York Jets because they're dealing with Mike White, who I think they love, but is questionable because he's not durable enough. And then you have Zach Wilson. As of right now, looks like he's not competent and efficient enough to run the offense. So right now, they don't have a quarterback for the future, which is tough going into this draft and this next offseason. The goal is to make the playoffs right now. If they don't get in, they may have a bigger problem on hand. Who's going to be the quarterback for the New York Jets moving forward? I don't think they have a direct answer. I don't know if it's Zach Wilson.
Yeah, look, I think Willie kind of hit it there. I mean, I think that Robert Saleh likes Zach Wilson. I think that Joe Douglas likes Zach Wilson. But neither of these two guys are going to be willing to jeopardize their status as the Jets general manager or the Jets head coach for Zach Wilson, right? I mean, they're not going to hang their hat with him and say, we're going down in the boat. I mean, they realize that Zach Wilson's holding this team back. They realize that if they do not make the playoffs in 2023, both those guys are going to be losing their jobs. So this offseason, they're going to be going out and looking for a quarterback that's going to get them to the playoffs. That's not Zach Wilson. Is it going to be Mike White? Is it going to be maybe Daniel Jones? Could it be Derek Carr? Could it be Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know. But they are going to go out there and try to get a quarterback that can get them over the hump, get them into the postseason. Now, as far as Zach Wilson's status with the team, I would say the best thing to be would be send Zach Wilson somewhere else, get him out of New York, get him to a place where he can reset himself and try to redevelop himself and maybe make a run as a starting quarterback again. But Willie, you know this as well as I do. There are politics at play. This isn't a 3rd-round pick. This isn't a 4th-round pick. This is a guy that the Jets drafted 2nd overall. And it is a pretty damning indictment on the collegiate scouting department if they have to give up on the guy they drafted second overall after just 2 years. I don't know if the Jets politically are going to be willing to walk away with that level of mud on their face, where I think there is a chance they bring Zach Wilson back and they try to keep developing him in the farm system, but he will not be back next year as the starter either way. The Jets will have a veteran in here, whether it's White or someone else, that they believe can get him in the playoffs.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch the rest of this season and beyond. Guys, thank you so much for the insight.
Thank you.